Hello, greetings all of you, my dear lovely Africans. I have a good news that the Alliance of Sahel States are working toward establishing a common agricultural policy. So you may ask why the Alliance of Sahel States want to control agriculture. First of all, we must understand that they want to control food. Always Africans, we consume what we don't produce, and we produce things that we don't consume. This time around, the leaders in the Alliance of Sahel States want to consume what they produce. So the Nigerian minister in charge of agriculture and the livestock sector announced that discussions are underway for the establishment of the common agricultural development of the Alliance of Sahel States area, so that the Confederation can, after leaving the other institutions, have its own agricultural policy. My dear lovely Africans, before moving too far, let us go and listen this from Joshua Maponga and his young people. And then I will come back to share my thoughts, because what Maponga is saying in this short video clip resemble what the Alliance of Sahel States are doing. Welcome.
What Trump is doing, it's a wake-up call to us Africans to start looking for ourselves, to start looking for our children, to have economies that are able to look after to look after our people, so that we can feed our people. We can have the health system that is able to that has got the capacity to cure everybody in Africa. We can no longer depend on those that persecuted us before. So what Trump is doing is bad, but at the same time, it's correct. It's a wake-up call for the Africans to wake up.
Yes, and while we're on that also, I'd like to pick up on a positive note.
Yes.
What Trump is doing on the other side could be very negative.
Yes.
Now you go further up north and then you find young men such as Ibrahim Traore.
Yes.
Young men, hardly 32, 33 years old. And how old are you now?
I'm 31.
And how old are you?
26.
26 and 31. I mean, literally 2 years older than you. And that young man is running a country, and he is making changes that are... So this whole thing about, again, of saying young people are the future is not true. Because you're not going to be living in the future. You're living in the present. I've said this and I'll say it over again and again. Young people, you cannot trust old people to be planning the future
For us.
which they will not be available to live in. They make decisions now, but after they've made the decisions, then they die. And they leave you stuck with decisions, because many of you are busy praise and worship at church. You're busy playing drums in churches. You're busy singing hallelujah. You're busy practicing how to speak in tongues. You're busy worshiping at the mosque, knocking your heads until you have patches on your foreheads. You're busy with everything that is not here, except that which is here. And when you look at Ibrahim Traore, what goes on in your spirit as a young person? I mean, any one of you can respond to that.
For Ibrahim Traore, I would want to acknowledge all he's doing for Burkina Faso. We were seeing he's removing Western embassies. He's really advocating. He's not advocating, he's doing. He's not talking, he's doing. He's acting. He's addressing issues. We are seeing he's addressing the issue of mines. He's saying he's now mining their own minerals by themselves. They are processing it. Everything we are seeing in terms of dressing. Recently, he created dressing for lawyers, for all these judges. So he's really doing a lot. He really opened a tomato plant. He's empowering.
Don't forget the new electric car.
The new
recently launched. Yes,
the recently launched electric
And
car.
I heard there's one also in Zimbabwe. Yeah.
Yes, Maxwell Chikumbuzo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe one of you guys can look for him. I would love to cover that story and go into it, because many people think that radio energy is not possible. And when people started the cell phones, we didn't think it was possible.
Yes.
Because you needed a wire to another wire, hello, and then we would dial.
Yes.
And when someone came and said we can do it remotely, I mean, the whole world was apprehensive. But here we are. talking on a cell phone with no connection, using so there are lots of waves that are in the air. There are radioactive waves, with medium, low frequency, high frequency waves, and even another young man has found the radioactive frequency. Even music. Music is energy. We dig our graves with our teeth. We dig our own graves with our own teeth. And my business and my main calling in this particular age, it is to begin a process of recruiting these young people, sharing the vision with them, one person at a time. I don't know how long it will take me, but as long as there is breath in my nostrils, I will not stop sharing the revolution of the African children. Healthy bodies produce healthy minds. And by getting our diet systems confused, the rest of Nyangokaita even if you have lots of money, if you have poor health, will you be able to enjoy that money? You spend all your life, 50 years working, and the last 40 years, all your pension money, you spend it on medical bills. Quickly. A person is a mobile pharmaceutical company with a bag full of medicines. And then all the crimes you have been eating and drinking for the rest of your life, you must pay for it. Actually, if you cannot feed yourself, you must not be allowed to speak in English. But in my final remarks in the same note, is going forward, I will make some few adjustments to my programs and some of these talks that I do. That if you call me for some of your interviews, I may start refusing to do interviews with people that have weaves on their heads. I may start refusing to do interviews with boys that are dressed up like New York boys and etc. I may start refusing taking pictures in public places with people that don't meet up with the principles that I'm advocating. I'm not becoming hard and fuss about it, but also you respect me as I respect you also, and we can work together. We can find each other to develop the Africa that we want.
Africans, that is Joshua Maponga, are sharing thoughts with young people. Of course, Maponga has spoken very well that we need to control our food. We need to make sure that we eat or we consume food that is in line with us. Otherwise, we are going to pay back after certain years. Of course, you know that nowadays, if you go to the township or in the city, you find that many people looks like they have big stomachs. Why? Because we consume the food that are not in line with us. Always we are going to supermarket, we consume Western meals, Western food, instead of buying from the local. We don't consume our own food that is very healthy, organic, and of course there have been sometimes tried to cheat us to use these fertilizers, because sometimes I've been saying this many times, we Africans, we are copying everything. We are trying to copy what Russians are doing, what Americans are doing, but you must understand the environment is totally different. In Africa, we have good environment where there's heat and the condition is good, but there's no need for us to use these fertilizers. The Europeans or other countries can use fertilizer because the condition there is not conducive. It is too cold, so agricultural products need these extra nutrients for them to grow faster. But you can't compare Russia and Africa. Africa is too warm. If you plant your product can grow very fast because the environment is so good. But you find Africans, we use these fertilizers the way those who are living in cold places are doing. But I think that those are just we are trying to become modern while we are living our true ways of living. Yes, we need to modernize. I'm not rejecting to be modern, but we need also to do things in African ways. For instance, in terms of food, Africa, we need to consume what we produce. And sometimes you wonder that Africans, we are importing plastic rice from outside of the continent. Africa, we import water. Africa, we import fishes. We forgot that we have our own fishes here, we have our own water, we have our own food. By doing so, we can support our farmers, our entrepreneurs, and we can grow their business instead of going and importing things that is not health to us, and also we are making money to others. So, my dear lovely Africans, I think what Trump is doing is to waking up all of us, and I'm very happy as the young people have spoken very well that Trump is making a wake-up call to all of us, the people of Africa. So we cannot lament and blame Mr. Trump for what he's doing, but all in all, we must take that as a waking up call. So on the issue of ages, of course, you heard very clear about how the young leader of Burkina Faso has done at the age of 36 is doing wonders. I know we have many leaders who are too old, too heard, but they're not doing the way Captain Ibrahim Traore is doing. Why? Because I think it is the time for Africa to do what is good and right. It's not about ages. And of course, I want to encourage our young men and women to engage in production, to engage in agriculture, and to do things that is good and right for the continent. You know, just imagine Captain Ibrahim Traore at that age is doing wonders. Just if others can do the same, not to become the president or to learn this coup, no, to do what is good and right in community level, in family level, in regional level. I think you can do better. When we are saying Captain Ibrahim Traore is doing well, and we don't mean that we want others maybe to become presidents like Traore, no, because all of us cannot become presidents, but we need to do what Traore is doing in our small areas where we are. If it is about agriculture, let us emphasize agriculture in our communities. If it's about cleanness, let us encourage cleanness in our communities, in our families. If it's about bringing hope, let us bring hope to our families, to our communities. And that is what Captain Ibrahim Traore is doing. So, my dear lovely Africans, let me not speak for too long. Let me end it here. Of course, I'm waiting to hear more from you. But all in all, the Alliance of Sahel States are going to establish a common agricultural policy to control agriculture, especially food production. We cannot consume what we don't produce. We must produce and consume what we are producing, of course. That is what I think we need to do. After that, let me say thank you. Have a nice time. See you next time. Bye-bye.